All right, I'm on hole number 18 of the weekend round in the Fuji Open. And I'm not having a bad round, but I did not have a good round. I picked up one on 4, and then I turned around and dropped it when I on the back 9 on 13. Otherwise, I've been playing the minus 24. Really, I think that realistically, it's going to take a 26. It's going to take a 26 to be in the top 5. You know, if you're looking for any shot at a banner, you're going to have to shoot a minimum of a 26. If you shoot anything more than a 26, your chances of winning are super high. My goal going into this round was to shoot a 28. I started off pretty good with the minus 13 on the front, was on the 26 track, just looking to pick up one more to separate me from the crowd, and have not been able to get it done. So I'm on the 24 track, and the 24 track's probably top 15. So my only shot here of trying to separate myself from that crowd is to get an albatross on this last hole. So this hole number 9 does not lend itself to getting albatross, but you can. If you can get in the right spot up here to do the rough bump, you definitely increase your odds. The problem is in the qualifying rounds, I played this hole, I had this rough bump every single time. And since then, in the opening rounds, I've overshot and been in the rough. I've been laid up back here and had to use the island, and I haven't been able to get back to the point where I can actually do the rough bump. So I'm going to bring a Titan, Extra Mile, Backbone Hornet. I've got all my good stuff. Nirvana. Here we go. Let's open up that pin chest. Alright. Rolling through it. Never really care about what's in those chests. Just open up chests and open up chests and open up chests, and sooner or later you'll see something down there that says you got something. You opened up something. It takes lots and lots and lots and lots of chests. But what you don't want to be is a player that's won 1,000 games and you only opened up 400 chests because you didn't have slots open. You always have to have a slot open if you're trying to build your clubs up. This shot from over here on this side of the trees, if you're playing in expert and masters, especially in masters, this is the shot. You're going to end up over in the clear out in this area and using the island to come in towards the green. In rookie, however, I'm not so sure I like this shot over here. You got very narrow areas to hit into when you have a very wide open area on the other side. My opponent will like that spot though. A nice straight in shot for the green. Put everything on it. Trying to get out into this area right here, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the wind in. This is the lowest wind I've seen all week, and I've been short, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave the wind in. I'm not trying to get anything special on it. Hitting it great to the right. So great to the right is shorter on the end down here than great to the left, so the chances that I'm going to blow into the rough are higher. Now I think I've got enough distance here that finally I have a shot at a rough bump and I'm back on track. Now I think I have just enough distance there. That little marker out in the field there, that's the spot that I'm trying to be in, that area. And that opens up this rough area so that you can do a rough bump. I'm going to do a 10% wind adjustment on this. See if I can get there. Yes. All right, I'm in max club. It's 1.2 per ring. And a 10% wind adjustment. So that's about a 2.4. And that's going to be just 2 rings. So a 2-ring pool. Need to hit it perfect. Hit it great to the right. And it went great to the right. And that's pretty much the way my round's gone. One spectacular shot in the whole round and one disappointing shot in the round, and those two balanced each other out, and so we're back on the 24. So that's kind of how the round went. That's kind of how it's been going for me all week. I almost peaked in the qualifiers. I shot super awesome in the qualifying rounds, and then it's just kind of been flat ever since. Eagle. I still have one more round to play, so I will be forfeiting. I don't want to waste any hole-in-ones on par 3s. So we ended up with the minus 24, which is the minimum score. So before I go look, I'll get on my soapbox here. So I'm really trying to help my teammates and anybody who watched my video, and I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I'll tell you, you hear me say this all the time. If the minimum score that we're looking for is a minus 24, and it's pretty easy to establish, this is anything higher than a minus 24 means that you pick something up. You're on that par 4 and you picked up that 80-yard chip in. So minus 24 is the minimum score we're looking for, and that's a nice consistent round. Just going out there and playing the holes nice and consistently. So if you shoot the minus 24 in most tournaments, some tournaments the scoring is super crazy and it could be all over the place. But in most tournaments, if you shoot the minimum score, you're looking at a top 20. And so if you look at your tournament stuff and you do your average and you go, wow, I've been averaging like 48th place. All you have to do to move yourself into a top 20 spot is to shoot that minimum score. If you pick up one more on that minimum score, it can move you from the top 20 to the top 8, top 5. Just one shot. So if you give yourself opportunities on all those holes to pick that up, and you do get something to drop, you can really separate yourself from the crowd. But when you're first starting to play these tournaments, if you're not getting the success you want, really just focus on nice consistent gameplay and getting that minimum score. And then if something drops and if you get lucky or if you have a little bit on your side, it can separate you from that crowd. You can get a higher result. But just shooting the minimum score is key. Don't worry about trying to win. Don't worry about trying to get all those extra shots. Your first goal is to try and figure out how to get the minus 24. And you should be looking at a top 20. So let's see if that's correct. So that minus 24 pulled me, because of my tiebreakers, to the top of the minus 24s in 9th place. So just shooting the average minimum score has netted me a top 20, top 10 right now. And the 24s go to 17. So let's see how many people we have that haven't completed their round yet. This is an old bracket, so most people should have completed their round. Still have a 16 here, 16, 17, 18, another 3, so that would put them at 22, 23, somewhere in that neighborhood. So we got a 16 going here. We got a 16 after 13. They might be able to eke up in there. So we have a few people down here at the bottom that still haven't completed their round that still could come up the bracket. And so as this goes on, I would imagine that I'm probably going to end up in 11th or 12th. It would be nice to net a top 10 just for the stripes on the banner, but realistically, I'm probably looking at, and with the way it goes here, I'm probably looking at 11 or 12, somewhere in that neighborhood. And that means that if I drop down 3, that means the top 20 shot the minimum score we're looking for of minus 24. That's the deal. Now, is that the result that I'm looking for as far as like going up to the top? There's 26s up at the top, just like I thought. If you could shoot anything better than a 26, you'd almost be guaranteed to win. I mean, there's no guarantee. Somebody might pop out a 29 or whatever, or 28, but just shooting that nice, easy round. So I was on track for a 25 and I dropped a shot. So here's how brutal that was. These people that are up here, and for some reason the way, so in the opening round 27, so I still would have been below them. Opening round here 26, I shot a 25, so Chris shot a 25, so me and Chris here would have been in the same group, and Chris shot an 11 in the opener and I think I shot a 13, so I'm looking at 5th place. If I would have held on to that spot, I was looking at 5th place, top 5, and I didn't play very well. So, but what I did play was consistent. You know, I went out there and I got where I wanted to get. I gave myself looks, and so it doesn't take a lot to get yourself into the top 20. It takes consistent gameplay. And then when you look at it from that point on, you have just a little bit of luck on your side, and all of a sudden you're in the top 5, top 10, top 8. Get a little bit more luck and you're up there looking at a banner. So it doesn't take a lot to get yourself up to the top of these brackets. What it takes is consistent gameplay. All right, that was the Fuji Open tournament in the weekend round of the Rookie Division. Thanks for watching.